What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger for my people. Y'all know the vibes by now, man. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
We do realize it's a game of entertainment. And I let them do entertaining things. I can't do what they do, but I used to love to go behind my back, over my head. The crowd goes crazy. Well, I've got kids that can do that. Let them be them. Let them be you. I tell them all the time, be you, but don't turn it over. So I think Fulwiley, for example, she can do things. And but now she's doing them with another kid named Flage and another kid named Michaela. So it's like, which one's going to do something special next? The thing they're doing so good right now is they're sharing the basketball. And if you watch them, they're cheering for each other. And it's amazing when you can go to work every day and you don't have to worry about powders and you don't have to worry about selfishness and you're just happy for them and they pick on each other when they do something funny or crazy. I've got a very, very unique and good combination of older players in that locker room and new ones. And we just got to keep getting better.
So I just want to start this video off by saying, because I know these are two passionate fan bases right here. This is no shade to Don Staley. Great coach, revolutionizing the game right now. No shade to South Carolina. But I think it's safe to say, man, right now, it's still early. But at this very moment, Milaysia Fulwiley is playing the best basketball of her career under Coach Kim Mulkey and LSU. She looks comfortable. She looks confident. She's playing young, wild, and free. Now, we got to give credit where it's due. Coach Don Staley, this South Carolina Gamecock staff laid the foundation for what Milaysia Fulwiley is right now. And Coach Don Staley even said now that LSU would get the best version of her when she left. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing. The scoring is up. The assists are up. 40% from three-point land. The turnovers are down. Across the board, she's playing more efficient basketball. On top of that, all the stats are up. She's coming off the bench and still putting in big numbers with this program. She's making that transition to the point guard position. She's still scoring the basketball. But man, this version of Milaysia Fulwiley,
a lot of people ask me why LSU, kind of like, why not? Like, they're a great program. Kim, she's a great coach, and everyone around her, Simone, G, Kaylin, all of the assistant coaches, they just helped me so much. And when I was talking to them, I realized that, like, that's what I need. I need a group of people that believe in me and just want to see me do better, because I just wanted better for myself. I knew I can get better. I knew I can get better in certain areas on the court, and I just kind of told myself, like, now is the time to make that change and kind of want to do better for myself.
It's kind of like oil and water mixing, though, like South Carolina, LSU. How'd that go over? How have you kind of like dealt with all that?
Yeah, I just kind of told myself that I still wanted to compete for a national championship. I still want to be in the mix. I still want to be in the SEC. I still want to play for a great coach. So that's when I kind of landed here. I felt like LSU is a great program. They kind of play my style of play. I felt like I could probably be myself here, and that's what I did. It's been a big transition, but in my opinion, I think it's been great for me and, just growing as a person on the court and off the court. And I'm learning a lot, but I'm excited while learning, so it's been great.
The decision-making process, what kind of factors were you weighing when it came time to kind of make the decision?
I just wanted to go to a program that was also in the SEC because I like the SEC. I didn't want to leave the SEC, and I also wanted to go to a program where I could still compete for a national championship and still play for a great coach and a coach that kind of knows what they're doing, and I kind of trust her.
she's making plays on both ends of the floor, and you can tell, man, Coach Kim Mulkey is just thrilled to have her on the roster. She's gelling with the players, Flage, Michaela Williams. She looks like she's been there her whole career. They're playing fast. They're getting out in transition. They're sharing the basketball. She had 6 assists last game. And you look at the numbers, man. playing, about the same minutes, honestly, but 17.6 points up from 11.7 last year, 4 rebounds up from 2.8, career high in assists, averaging 4.8 steals, 1.2 blocks, shooting 40% from the 3-point line compared to 25% last year, compared to 34% her freshman year. Turnovers are down. Field goal percentage overall at 60.3%. Across the board, the numbers are up. Now, I know it's early in her tenure with LSU, only played 5 games. And we weren't sure how the transition was going to work. There's only one basketball, and there's a lot of ball-dominant guards on this team. We saw the struggles of Haley Van Lith trying to make that transition from scoring guard to point guard. There was a lot of people on Malaysia's bumper saying Lay couldn't make that transition to point guard. Now, it's a process. There's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs. But there have been a lot of ups, man. And I genuinely think we were all thrown off, surprised by the commitment to LSU. But the decision seems valid right now. Now, I told y'all, man. People were saying Coach Kim Mulkey wouldn't play freshmen. There's just not enough talent on this team. People were throwing shade. And like I said, I know it's the beginning of the season. They haven't played any stiff competition. But we just got to go off of what we've seen so far. And I tell you what, there was a lot of placeholders, a lot of players getting free rides. They tried to plug up a bunch of holes with Band-Aids in the transfer portal with the likes of Jersey Wolfenbarger. Shine Day Wilson, no shade. But it was a lot of Band-Aids, a lot of players getting free rides. Alea Del Rosario, she done got up out of there. They bring in Kate Koval, who's still finding her way, for sure. But Zakiya Johnson, 14 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. She's been one of the best freshmen in the country. Already got a double-double under her belt. She has been better than advertised. Big guard, just really stuffing the stat sheet, playing with high IQ, scoring the basketball at will, not forcing it, but finding her spots to pick apart. Jada Richard playing her role at point guard. That she was a player that I knew would get a lot of minutes for this team. Shined as a freshman, has started some games at point guard for this group. Michaela Williams, 15 or 16 points in their last game, has been very much more vocal as a leader. She's been a silent killer for the last 2 years, but we definitely see her taking on a bigger leadership role. Flau'jae Johnson, got hurt, exited their last game, 22 points. I told y'all Maya Joyner, 12.7 rebounds. They're still finding, I think, their best 5 and what this rotation as a whole is going to look like, but they're legitimately 10 deep. The front court, I think, was an upgrade. I think they could have used keeping Samaya Smith because she would be starting next to Joyner, and this would be a very versatile front court. But Joyner being able to just attack off the dribble, using her length, being able to shoot the basketball, being able to just establish position on the glass. I think Devon Burge is a player that is going to come on a little late, but she's still a very talented player. Kaylin Gilbert, we know what she can do as far as scoring the basketball. She's had some big games in the past with LSU. And it's a type of deal where it could be anybody's night on any given day, man. Bella Hans is another player who I thought could be the odd freshman out, but she's come in and played some valuable minutes, got some valuable reps, getting that experience early on in these blowouts. Grace Knox, who I thought, would be the star freshman out of this group, will make the immediate impact, is coming along slowly. But she's got that skill set where she's physical. She can play the 4. She can play the 3. She's got the perimeter skills. She can shoot the basketball. She's got an old school post game. She's not afraid to put her back to the basket. Really good rebounder, active, explosive athlete. When, getting off the floor, she gets off the floor quick. I think that this team has a lot of pieces and they're still figuring it out, obviously. But the big 3, everything else is a compliment for this group. When you got Flau'jae playing the way she's playing, unselfish, carefree basketball, being aggressive, hunting her shots, being efficient. Michaela Williams, one of the best ISO players in women's college basketball. And the arrival of Flau'jae Johnson has put this team, I think, in contention for a national championship. This is one of the top 5 teams in the country, in my opinion. I'm not trying to overreact to, a couple of cupcake games they've played. But the way that this team is in unison and building chemistry and locked in already, it feels like they're ahead of schedule, man. And this might be Coach Kim Mulkey's deepest team. Like I said, they can go 10 deep. They don't have to worry about foul trouble. The front court's a little thin, but at the same time, they don't have to rely on a whole lot of scoring. If they can get that 12 out of Maya Joyner, continue to rebound as a team, hey, man, LSU is going to be a very tough team. You're going to have to score a lot of points to beat this team. They just scored 101 against Tulane, and it just seems like they are going to be hard to stop, man. Now, they're still going to have to guard, and that's going to be a big thing as well, because we know they can score, but they're still going to have to guard. But you look at it against Charlotte, 117, 101, 118 against Georgia Southern, 115, 108. They've scored over 100 points in every game. This is going to be one of the most explosive offenses in the entire country. And on paper, we knew it coming in, but sometimes it takes time to gel. They're going to have to guard. Flau'jae Johnson, the best perimeter defender on this team. Milaysia Fulwiley, one of the top steals leaders in the country. Kate Koval defending that paint. They're going to need her to rebound. They're going to need her to continue to defend and protect the paint. Maya Joyner as well. If these bigs can contribute and just be formidable, this is going to be a team that is going to be very hard to contain, very hard to guard, and very hard to match up with. But I just want to say, man, Milaysia Fulwiley, she made the right decision in my opinion. She's still not starting, but she's getting a lot of minutes. She's getting to play through mistakes. She's playing efficient basketball, and she definitely is making a firm transition into that point guard spot. As they continue to figure out these rotations, build chemistry, and build an identity, LSU's going to be dangerous, man. Watch out for them Tigers. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, though. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Until next time, my people, we out.